We're talking with burritos. We're talking with burritos.
Alrighty, you guys. This is Talking with Burritos. I am Jerry, JJ Graham. And sitting with me today is not Adam. It's Chris, the Rupo.
Call me Ishmael.
Yeah. Oh, you shit. J-Dog reading some Moby Dick?
Hell yeah.
What?
I'd listen to that because Moby Dick's one of my favorite books.
Sexy lady.
Just have wave motion.
Yeah. Oh, snap, right? I mean, cool. That's your ambiance.
And then I'm going to be an asshole and play Under the Sea in the background.
But, you know, this episode, Talking with Burritos, is entitled The Details Are Very Grim. I had this thing about just the Grimm, just like the Brothers Grimm, you know, those crazy, obscene, weird,
that's for sure,
violent stories of old that we've kind of made into these Little Pretty Princess, let's all go and watch it as a family type
stories. Hey, bring the kids, someone dies.
Like Cinderella. Cinderella is still Cinderella, but I think in Into the Woods, they took a lot of the Grimm, a lot of reference from the Grimm series, as from the Grimm story as well. Whereas the one I was that freaked me out is when she was cutting off their toes to make them, the parts of their feet to make them fit into the shoe.
Yeah.
That was nasty because she was like just doing it like cut but in the Cinderella the movie she didn't do anything like that.
Hey,
but
no, they were all like
she was just cruel.
Yeah, she was just cruel. She was a bitch for no reason.
Yeah. She's just she was a bitch because it was like kind of like not the Medusa thing, but what is it? One of those ancient queens like jealous of this one woman's.
Oh, you mean
beauty?
Not the start of the Trojan War.
Yes.
What is
that one? Persephone and. Was it Persephone?
No, Persephone.
No,
she's the one who lives in the underworld.
Yeah, lives with Hades and stuff.
Oh God, I used to be good with Greek myths.
Yeah, I know, right? Me too.
Because I fucking loved them. Oh God, it wasn't Persephone. It was the Queen of Troy. She was jealous of someone's beauty, and Eris, the queen goddess of chaos.
Yes,
like stirred the shit.
Yeah,
like with a golden apple. She gave a present to the most beautiful, and the Queen of Troy was like super pissed.
Yes. Okay, we'll look that up later, but yeah, it's like along the lines of that, you know, all that. No, that's kind of weird. That's kind of like Snow White. Think about it.
Yeah, fairest of the land.
Yeah,
you know,
that's crazy. Yeah, but see, like, you know, over history, they say every story is retold almost 1,000 times, pretty much. You know, if you ever listen to my wife talk, it's like that. You know, it's like, okay, I've heard this story before. How does this one end? You know, it's like sometimes you have the same meeting or a different meeting. It's like you got upset, shit got real, you said a lot of cuss words, and now what's so different about the last week when you said the same thing? No, but it's like one of those things. Whereas they just weren't like, they were just mean. And so what I wanted to do, I can really cut this. I can keep going on and on about it. But when I was thinking about this, and I was thinking because I watched Home. Did you watch that movie yet?
Home, not yet. You can spoil it if you want.
No, it might be a little bit of spoiler, but
I'm gonna see it soon.
You know how sometimes in cartoons, like they're making everything PG. They make everything G for you. But in some of these later ones, like recently, in the last 5 years or something, they're giving you a little bit more. You know, and they have this New Yorker article. I'll reference it in the show notes for this episode. It's going to be titled "Talking with Burritos /Grimm." And we'll reference that. I'll reference the article there. But we're talking about like how what if we actually trained our kids to not, I don't know. What if we showed them the real shit? Because that's what the Brothers Grimm's stories were pretty much.
Yeah, they're all these stories passed down from generation generation that were all very, well, for lack of a better word, grim.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
Their names were very accurate.
Right.
You know,
right?
it's these are just a bunch of stories from German folklore and all that stuff, you know, passed down from generation to generation. They're just fucked up stories that we've told our kids for years. For some reason. I don't get why.
But then over time, though, you know, even then, when they were depicting their stories, when they were telling their stories, people are like, whoa, a little bit set aback by them because they were so, coined it, grim. You know? So, because, they were just horrible, horrible stories. And they thought that, okay, well, we're not going to tell these to our children.
Yeah.
They didn't want to, but because why? They were mostly told amongst adults, and every now and then, you have the young adults, which they were at the time, like 17, 18, but then they became older, and they just heard more of these stories, and they heard more, and so they started retelling them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them, they didn't change. That's just what they were. But then over the time, iterations of them by different authors, they would change and add a little bit more onto it. But my thing is, with nowadays, how we just dumb everything down, I was watching this kid's movie. Yes, I know it's a kid's movie, but I was thinking, I want him to die. No, because the way...
Sorry.
I know, seriously.
Fuck this alien.
Fuck this little cute alien. This little freaking...
Fucking pulling ET here.
Something like that, whereas he wasn't dying he wasn't like murdered. He was, this character was about to give his life for a specific reason. Because he believed in something. And so he was about to give his life. And that's basically how they led you. They misled you. In the end, it's like, oh, snap, did he die? But I was thinking, oh, wow, he died. This is awesome. Because he died for a reason. He died because he believed in something so much. And he liked this other character. He was not in love with her, but, he felt that they were family to him. So he wanted to die for his family. I'm thinking, cool. And we came out of the movie theater. I was with my wife, and then we met up with some other people who were there with their kids, and they were like, oh, this is so cute, Billy. I was just like, yeah. I thought he was going to die. I'm like, he should have. Yeah. And they looked at me like I was like crazy. I'm like, no, he should have died. Because then I was about to get into it with them. Like, he was dying for a reason. So why not kill off the character?
It's not like DreamWorks hasn't killed off people.
Yeah, I know. It's not like people haven't died in these cartoons. It's sort of like Toy Story, when they were like, die or end. They led you to that point where I was almost fucking crying because I thought those little bastards were about to die. And then I was like, and then they were saved. But yet they actually kill off a person in the beginning. A person that you didn't even know. Yep. But yet you felt for her. Same as Finding Nemo. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of death in these stories, and do you think that they're incorporating them now, bringing death into these stories? Even How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon too. Yep.
He was killed by Toothless.
Oh yeah, Toothless. In control of.
But then he had to overcome, I wouldn't say distaste or anger towards Toothless, with whom he loved as well, because he knew that it wasn't him who did it. Yep. He wasn't in his right mind, but he had to convince himself. And so I'm thinking, all of these are teaching us life lessons. And so go back to those Grimm stories and like, what if we start teaching our kids or telling them the real tales? That's what the article is about. Like, why should we dumb these down? Why don't we? Because they reissued like the tales as they were told back then. And so I was thinking, would it be bad to read these to your kids?
I don't think so. I mean, why not?
Because my thing is like, they see, like nowadays we see a lot of shit. Unless you're really sheltered, people die. And like in this story with the alien, I'm thinking, what are we teaching that kid? Right? We teaching him that this alien fell in love with humankind. You know what I'm saying? People he didn't understand. He fell in love with them, but then he sacrificed his life because he felt so guilt. He felt a little guilt at first because they took over their planet, but they moved out. And he actually remedied that problem. This is like the second act. Almost this is the third act. He came back for another, but because he had to tie up some, because he had to fulfill a promise to the young lady with whom he befriended.
He befriended Rihanna.
Yeah, but the character who. Rihanna.
No, it's Rihanna
who plays. No, but I'm thinking like, dude, that's the lesson I want to teach my kid right there. Yeah. Being selfless, you know, and believing in something so much that you would die for it. I know it sucks to say, but you don't want your kid to die or to think that he has to die or she has to die. But it's like just that selflessness that we're not taught nowadays. We're so selfish now as a culture, I think, and we all just think about ourselves. But yet we want our kids and people nowadays to be selfless, but yet we don't teach them to be that way. Growing up, we dumb everything down and saying, "Oh, like nowadays we're trying to tell our kids or our young ladies that okay, yeah, the prince ain't really a prince, motherfucker, a dog. You know, we're slowly getting there where people are just like, oh no, yeah, the prince isn't
Prince Charming.
Yeah, Prince Charming isn't really that charming in real life.
They've been like really
He's an asshole. He's
with
gonna
that.
knock the fuck out of you if you don't duck, and you better stab him. That's what I teach. I'm like, fuck a Prince Charming. You stab his ass. I don't care. Prince Charming will bleed in the end.
That's a
Shank
title
a
of a article right there.
Yeah.
Ready to happen.
Oh, right there. I'll write it down. Oh, I got the podcast episode. I got the episode. I'll just relive it. Okay. I'll have to listen to this thing over again. Yeah. But, I don't know. See, that's just me going deep into thought over this kid's movie. But what do you think, man?
You know, I think there was a point in time when it just got lighthearted because, you know, in the early days of children's movies, you know, Snow White was kind of scary with the fucking queen.
Yeah, it was frightening. I didn't like it.
And then, like, you know, from there we had Bambi, whose mom did die.
Made me cry like a little bitch.
Yep, we all did.
American Tail.
American fucking
Made
Tail.
me cry. That's because he was lost. And what? Go ahead.
There's like a point in that time when like Disney just got too soft, but then Don Bluth came around and was like, fuck it, let's make these kids cry with like Land Before Time.
Yep, that one got me too. That damn scene, that was horrible.
Yeah.
You know, because wasn't it fire and brimstone?
Oh yeah,
and everything was erupting and he loses his mom and he's trying to run away. I remember, I'm telling the story. I'm going into story time again, you guys. Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska. I just moved up there and lived with my pops. I hadn't really been to movies. I lived in Arkansas for all my life, for, you know, up to that point till I was like 8 years old. And, you know, my dad saved us from like a life of just shit. So that was awesome. I guess that was just him doing his job. But hey, he could have left us down there, as men do, you know, with their responsibilities. But, and I'm saying, don't do that. Take care of your damn kids. But I was there. I was in this crowded movie theater. I remember it because I was like, oh, this is so dope. I love this because it's a big old screen. I had never been in a movie theater, and I was watching this movie, and I just bawled. And at that time, there's some backstory too with my mom. We just left her and stuff. And so, yeah, it hit me. And I just bawled like a baby up in that movie, man. It was sad. So sad.
I just played the violin.
I know. But no, it really was. So Don Bluth, he comes around and
Bluth, he fucking he tells it how it is.
Yeah,
you know. Hey.
See, yeah, it's like the Grimm story, telling that shit how it is. So that was my dilemma. I was just thinking, like, I want my kids to read the original. I want to read my kids the original stories from this, you know, because it's kind of fucked up. Let's go into some examples. I'm gonna go into this one called The Juniper Tree, and that one it fucked me up because this lady, right? Okay, this is stepmom, right? This kid's bothered her. He's like, no. He's doing this kid thing, right? And she apparently does not like this kid. He's annoying. Oh no, she tells him to do something, and he goes off. I'm not gonna say I don't remember what she told him to do, but here's the messed up about the story that I wanted to, you know, we just call it the messed up about this story. The messed up about this story is that she told him to do something, maybe he didn't do it or he did, but yet she reprimanded him by cutting off his head. She cut off this kid's head, okay? And so then she realized, okay, she cuts off this kid's head. People are going to realize that the kid is headless and he's dead. So what she does is, she hears her stepdaughter or her daughter, because this is her stepson. So she hears her daughter coming home. And so what she does is she props the kid up, right, in a chair, and she puts his head on his body. And then the young girl is calling for her brother, right? She's calling for him, and he doesn't respond. And so the mom says, oh, why don't you go and give him a little rattle? And so she does. And what's this fucking mom doing this story? She blames her, the daughter, for killing the damn kid. She's like, oh no, you did this to Billy, and now Billy is dead. And so she put all blame on this young girl, her daughter, for killing fucking Billy, man. It was fucked
You
up.
killed Billy.
Tim Allen came back again. Killed Billy. If you guys haven't realized that, go to the latest episode of. No, wait, which one was it?
Oh god, it was.
Oh no, it's voice actors. Yeah,
voice actors. Yeah,
killed when Tim Allen really fucks Billy's up. Well, it really fucks Billy's world up and sends him into a coma just by showing up.
And now Billy has no head because his sister.
But no, shit like that's just fucked up.
That teacher
With me though, I would read the kids and like hope that they just bust up laughing because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And what else? What's another one? Do you have any?
I can't remember the exact title. I think it's like called Handsome Dan or something. And pretty much how it is, he does exactly what he's told to do, like to the key, and he ends up killing his wife at the end.
Why?
Because he's stupid.
Did someone tell him?
I can't remember how it is. It's like maybe feed your wife or something. Like, or no. She says she was hungry because I just remember seeing this character from the Fables.
Oh, okay.
Actually, from the game The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
He works as a bouncer at a strip club, and I was like, oh, this guy seems interesting. And I'm like, because every character is based off of a real fable.
Yes.
You know? And I looked at his story and it's like, oh, wow, he literally killed his wife because he's so stupid.
He's just dumb. So he kept following every instruction to a T?
Yep.
Who was giving him those instructions?
I don't fucking remember.
Oh, you don't remember? Oh, okay. Well, look up that one, you guys. Well, I'll go look up that, and I'll give you a little snippet of what I thought about it. Maybe I'll record it too, and I'll put it on there. And be like, what the fuck? Oh, maybe I'll just do an audio recording. I'll tell a story. I'll tell a tale of
It was a story.
Grimm tale. Some of them are kind of long. Some of them really short. Some of them are longer than I wanted them to be. Where I was like, okay, this is boring because I was just trying to go through them. Yeah. But I would read one off though. I would read one of those.
I think that's actually a short one.
Voice. Yes. How are you doing? No, just kidding. And I was thinking, I was reading about Rapunzel too. She was a hoe.
Rapunzel was a hoe.
Rapunzel was a fucking hoe, man. She was using that hair. She was throw it down like, hey, little boys.
Hey, big boy.
And they just come around like, what? Oh, she put her hair down. I'm going to go up, take turn. And like, they basically, yeah.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Hey, it's lonely up in the tower.
Yeah. Well, see, it's something like that. I'm like, okay.
All she's got
with that one, I'm thinking like, okay, how would I explain that one to my kid? She likes dudes. Don't be a hoe. How about that, kid? Learn your lesson. And Cinderella. And what about? And I was reading another thing about in this article. They were talking about how the stepmom was usually like really the villain.
Yeah.
Like, why is that? Like, because think about it. From the early Grimm stories, I think that's where you get this whole thing about stepmothers being so damn evil. And maybe for the most part, from Cinderella in general. Yeah. Because everyone thinks that your stepmother, like if you think it's somebody like who's been living with separated parents and then the father, has custody of the kids or the kids live with him. Is it worse when the father gets another wife or a woman gets another husband? What would freak you out more? I think for me, because even with my dad, when he had lady friends, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, because I was just like, fuck that bitch. I don't give a fuck who you are. But then some of them were really nice. It's just like, okay, I can see you as my mom's, but you ain't my mom's. But yet, I can tolerate it a little bit more. Well, I'm thinking more so, like, if you...
I can't think of a single good stepmom.
Yeah. Wait, do they have... What's a good stepmother? Who's a good stepmother? Oh, who's the boss? No. No. What? No. Brady.
Which one?
Well, the Brady's.
The Brady? Oh, technically, yeah.
Yeah, technically she was a good stepmother.
Well, that's because they're all fucking Mormons. No, they're not.
Oh, that's fucked up. But
they have no souls. Those fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed motherfuckers.
Well, the other ones were brunettes.
Whatever.
They were dark-haired kids.
All evil.
Brown-haired kids. Okay.
They're all evil.
All of the Bradys.
All the Bradys are evil.
Why?
They're secretly sacrificing people in the backyard. Cousin Oliver, you're next.
I didn't really watch the Bradys that much.
My dad loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because it was on, and it was like one of those TV shows, because
they're the whitest people you know.
Anything's on, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And the Brady's just never really struck my attention. I didn't start watching. I've only watched like key episodes later on in life where, like the funny with the football. And the one with I watched the one with the monkeys when they were on there with, what's his name?
Davy Jones.
Yeah, Davy Jones is on there. I've seen that one, but I really didn't get into the Brady's all that much. I was all about the Flintstones or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because the Bradys were the whitest people we all knew.
What about that Hansel and Gretel?
Hansel and Gretel.
Actually, it was the mom and dad deciding.
Yeah,
they
they're
had to
both.
decide.
They're just mean parents.
Yeah,
they're just horrible parents.
But didn't they reference that in the movie? You said, did you tell me that or no?
In the movie, the Hansel and Gretel witch hunters, right?
Yeah.
I think they were like witch hunters or something who got killed by a witch and they got left behind. I can't remember how they did it in the movie.
Oh, the parents?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because in the book, the parents just abandoned them.
Yeah, they just fucking abandoned them.
If I was reading that to that kid, I'm like, you know what, kid? I would never abandon you.
Like, didn't they like tell them, oh, go into the forest and find like the fucking prettiest flower or something until you like come back?
Yeah. And then they just left.
Yep.
And they were like, yeah, we out.
Yo.
And no, because the dad was like, no, I don't want to do this. And I think it was the stepmom. Yeah, she was a stepmother. She was a stepmother. And she was just like, no, I want to leave these kids. And the dad was like, no, I can't leave my kids. And then all of a sudden he just, she threw the pussy in him. And he's like, oh, okay, all right, I'll leave these damn kids. Their pussy's too good. So he like leaves the damn kid. But he did have a moment of clarity where he's like, I wouldn't do that. I have responsibility to my children. But then, she put it on him and he was just like, okay, all right, well, fuck them kids. They eat too much anyway. but okay, that was going on to that. But I don't know. That was just me with that article. It was a New Yorker article. I know that. It came out a couple of years ago. I don't know. It's just that really just struck me as interesting. It's like, okay, how about we just not dumb it down for these kids? Because certain stories like that, especially that cartoon, I thought, that's selflessness right there. That he was being heroic.
Yeah.
So I would rather my kid learn, knowing that, okay, sometimes a motherfucking hero dies in the end, Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. Like it's not Superman. Like even in some of the comics, Superman did die, but yeah, he comes back. In real life,
Superman only died once.
Motherfucking no, you don't come back. Well, he's only once?
He's only died once.
Oh, okay.
But, okay, died.
You mean the franchise? Aha. Ding.
Died.
Air
quotes.
Quote unquotes. Yes, okay. I got
no, he went into a hibernation.
Oh, there it is. You mean coma.
No, it's hibernation.
Coma. Did you ever get to watch Grimm?
No, I couldn't find any fucking older. I wanted to start from the beginning. I did not want to start from like middle of fucking like season 5.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought I watched the first episode, right? And because I found a few more, but I wanted to, just online, just dipping around. I found the first one and I watched that because I wanted to, just like you said, I wanted to watch it from the beginning to really get the gist of it. Yeah. And it's pretty dope. What it reminds me of, I like it because they are pretty raw. They really go into like fighting demons and stuff. It's pretty cool, but it reminded me a lot of, I hate to say this, it reminded me a lot of Buffy, because they had like monsters and stuff. And you got this one guy who doesn't know he has these powers, but then once he realizes he does, he becomes like badass, and they had, it just has this whole monster human relationship going on that really just took me back to the days of like, Angel and Buffy. And, characters were good. The character was good. They had, they had their own secrets and stuff, but yet they were charismatic. They were humorous. And so, yeah, I like that show. It's a little dark, but and I think they have it on syndication now though, too, like on TBS.
Is it on? Is it?
I think so. But
instead of watching that, I watched Once Upon a Time.
Oh.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
no.
You didn't watch that?
That shit looks so fucking stupid.
Yeah, well.
It's fucking watered down fables. It's watered down.
That's what a lot of people
Fables.
have said about that. Is it a watered down or is it just a ripoff of Fables?
Okay, they've been talking about adapting Fables for years.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this was like they're fucking like, oh, we're gonna fucking finally do something with it. Woo! And like, since it's owned by ABC, which ABC is owned by Disney, they can put all their fucking Disney shit and water it down.
But didn't they come under scrutiny from having stolen the idea from someone else who wrote a script that was similar to that? I don't think they were part of the Fables universe, but they were just
it might. I don't
people
think it is
who wrote a
actually part of it.
script that was similar to what they wrote,
Mm-hmm.
to what the Once Upon a Time series is now. And so they filed a lawsuit. I don't know if they won it. I'm pretty sure maybe they didn't because
They went up against
I think
Disney.
they said, that they did. Yeah, it's this lady, I think. She was a female. I think it was like a duo team. 2 females went up, had this script, original idea. They said that they presented, and somehow Once Upon a Time resembles that to a T. possible.
But at the same time, it's like Once Upon a Time is pretty much just fables.
Just fables, yeah.
It's pretty much just fables. It's
Go into fables.
Fables is...
You mentioned that like a couple times.
Fables is a comic book series that's been around since like the late 90s, I believe. And pretty much what it is, it's fairy tale creatures. They pretty much have lost their homeland to an evil fucking king. And all the fables live in the Mundy world, the mundane world, our world.
Mondays, yeah.
And they've been here since like the 1700s. And they've had a piece of land in like New York, like pretty much a whole block to themselves.
Aren't they in New York in Once Upon a
Yeah,
Time?
I'm pretty sure they are.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is just an adaptation of Fables, but I don't know because
You don't watch the show.
I don't wanna watch
See,
it.
I wish Adam was here because he watches that show. Him and
Amy.
Amy, yeah,
Well,
his girlfriend.
He
Yeah.
watches.
Yeah. Well, you know, he watches. He was into it. Yeah. Like from Jump.
Yeah, it is true. Him and Amy watch a lot. But yeah, they're just living their lives, and there's a lot of characters. There's Snow White, who is like the advisor to the mayor. The mayor is like the typical king of like every story. Like I don't think it's King Cole. There we go.
Oh, okay.
You've got the big bad wolf, who was the sheriff, in human form. And like you think like, you know, there's like three little pigs and shit like that.
Yeah.
For certain characters, they have to have humanized potions, pretty much.
Yes.
That cost a lot to make.
Yeah.
Because they're really expensive for the witches to make. But if they can't afford those potions, they live in a outskirts of New York in a place called The Farm. It's just called The Farm. I thought it had a better name.
I was waiting for this like really just like elaborate name.
I know, I'm like
The Farm.
I'm like, oh, what is it? Was it? It's The Farm.
It's at The Farm. You had this drum roll beat leading up to it. And
No, it was me trying to remember
Farm.
what it was. It was me trying to remember what it was.
that was totally misleading.
Yeah. But yeah, the first like collected volume is pretty much about Snow White's sister Rose Red being murdered. It's been out since the 90s. Go read it. She wasn't murdered. She faked her death.
I'll just go funny. Fuck you.
She faked her death to escape that life to go live with Jack. You know, Jack and the Beanstalk and stuff like that. Who is the same?
Dude, it sounds just like freaking Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
It really does.
Because it is.
For the commercials and things I've seen, it's like
There's just no Cruella DeVille and stuff. I've never seen
the Disney
Ursula.
characters. Yes.
You know, there's he can use those characters because they're in the public domain. You know, all fairy tales are public domain.
Why?
Because they've been around since fucking forever. No one you can't copyright what you didn't make.
Oh, that's true.
You know? So, you know, and of course you can't have Cruella DeVille because that's based off a book. That's not really a fairy tale. Mm-hmm. Why is Cruella DeVille there? Fuck if I know.
Yeah, why is she there?
Yeah, I don't get that. Why is she there?
From a fairy tale land?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not a fairy tale.
Yeah. And then like there's also Arabian fairy tale people. They actually live in their own like in Arab nations.
Yes.
And they do actually visit in I think it's called Arabian Nights was the collected volume. And
Of Fables?
Of Fables.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they come in and it has like Sinbad and Mowgli makes an appearance. I loved Mowgli.
Oh, does he?
Mowgli
Oh,
made an
sweet.
appearance. I loved Mowgli as an adult.
Yeah.
And he looks like Tarzan.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Give or take.
He
grew up
looks
with
just like
apes,
Toad.
but, you know.
He didn't grow up with apes. He grew up with wolves.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Raised by wolves.
My
remember?
bad. Oops. I love
Yeah.
Tarzan, though.
I love myself some Tarzan.
Yeah, that damn movie was good. Wait, the Tarzan, or are you going to?
I love all Tarzan. I've read the books.
Even back in the day, the TV show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I remember watching that one. Oh, Nelly. That's dated.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But yeah, that's pretty much the gist
Yeah.
of Fables. It's all these fairy tale creatures, you know, living their lives in New York, and a lot of shit happens.
what other? So, yeah, okay, that's Fables. That's cool. That sounds just like, you know, to me, I don't know much about
It's fucking Once Upon a Time,
but
pretty
it is
much.
Once Upon a Time.
Like the
But,
the fucking villains. Like I don't get why they have all these fucking like. Did you notice they're all female villains in the Once Upon a Time? They're all female villains.
But don't they have the Big Bad Wolf and stuff?
Big Bad Wolf's a good guy. He's a sheriff. He's the sheriff.
Wait, in Fables or
in Fables.
Once Upon a Time?
I don't know about Once Upon a Time.
So in Fables, are they all
No,
women
I've
villains?
never seen Ursula. Like the only bad characters are like in the second volume, which is like I can't remember what it's called, but like you take a trip to the farm, and you see that they're having an uprising, pretty much of like of certain, most, not all of them are for like the treatment of equalness of the farm animals.
Yeah.
Like farm creatures, like giants can't leave or dragons can't really live in New York and stuff like that.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
So
in the farm,
Yeah.
it's like giants and like other, like pretty much any fairy tale creature that can't pass as a human.
okay,
So like goblins and shit.
so that's where they live on the
Yeah,
farm.
they live on the farm, which
Oh,
is this
is this-
big community.
So, can you see this farm? Like, if I was
It's-
driving by,
It's
would I be able to see
protected
it?
by
Okay, a spell.
it's protected by a spell. Like
Okay,
like the
okay.
regular
Yeah.
fairy town, it's protected by a spell.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you can't, like, Mondays can't see
Mondays, like they say that like they get really drowsy and don't really focus that well.
that. Yes.
Like I think that's what it is. I'd have to reread it to get the exact detail, but like that's how it is. Like they're
Like in a
just,
state of euphoria of
Yeah.
sort. And it's like once you cross that plane, it's like, whoa,
yeah.
I'm not really here. Like airheadedness. I can see that. Didn't they do that in some movie? I don't know. I thought they did with another story, but
And like the only other villain I can think of was Yaga something. I can't remember her name. Like she's a witch from like fairy tales, like Yaga Baba, I think.
Uh-huh.
Like it's a I think she's from like Malaysian fairy tale. No, not Malaysians. No, she has like a house with like bird legs, and she goes around, eats kids, I think.
oh, nice.
And like she was like the only villain I can remember because like she was working for the master who is in charge of Fairyland now,
Yeah.
which people can't really go to because they're fucked.
Why?
Because you can't go back because he took over the place with his wooden soldiers.
Oh, so you can't. So, like, if you're stuck in the mundane world, then you can't go back to fairy tale
Like there's
world?
only like one way to go back, and it's really dangerous, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a trek. Has
Yeah.
anyone ever accomplished that
Little
feat?
boy Blue,
Oh, really?
of all people.
Was he grown up, though?
Yes,
was
he
little
was.
boy
Like,
man?
He's a little boy man. He's got a
Little man boy.
He had the Vorpal
whatever.
sword from Alice in Wonderland, which can cut off anyone's head.
Oh.
Because he was on a trip to fucking get revenge because
Oh, shit. son.
for Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
his woman friend.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Like they had a romantic trip, and it turned out to be the fake Red Riding Hood, and yada yada. Yeah, like it's
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of volumes.
there is a
of those
lot of
stories,
volumes.
right?
I'm not even caught up. Like
No?
last volume I read was like number 7, The Arabian Nights,
Yeah.
because like I got really into it, and like I was just buying them on my Kindle.
It's
They were
just
reading
blowing
them
through
there.
'em.
Yep.
Oh, it sounds interesting, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I strongly recommend Fables.
I'm not. Yeah, I recommend it. I probably won't do it because
Well, if anything, we
bad
can
at
have
doing
you
that.
play the what's it called, the Fables game, the point and click adventure.
they do have that. I heard
Wolf
about
Among
that
Us,
one. Yeah.
which was really good.
that. I used to see that icon for it on my iPad. They used to have little icons that the Wolf Among Us. I'm like, what the hell is?
Yeah, they
this?
actually have it on the.
I didn't know what the hell it was. I
Yeah.
thought it was a stupid ass wolf game. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be dumb. I didn't even click on it, but you can see this like Wolfman on the front. It said the Wolf Among Us. It has this cool type though,
Yeah.
and I thought it was a pretty nice icon to put on the. It was the iTunes for an app. I thought it was neat, but I didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah, no, because they actually do put their games. Telltale puts their games on tablets now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yep,
Recently.
you can play The Walking Dead and shit. Like, I don't know how good of quality it'll be because, like,
You're going from PC or
yeah,
something to
console to a tab.
degrade, to a tablet. So you could do a lot with
You can,
like,
you
the
really
iPads
can.
and stuff nowadays. So those things look beautiful.
Yeah. Because you know what was really fucking weird? Recently I played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on my tablet. On my Kindle Fire,
really?
And it felt fucking...
How was that?
it controlled really well,
Yeah.
but it was really fucking, like... It made me want a controller.
Yeah, it's just weird,
You know?
right? Because we had this. I think I was asking you guys about that the other week. I'm not sure. Just about like controllers and like trying to use a pad versus a controller because I can't do it.
I can't-
Like,
I can
I think we were
barely
talking
do
about the
it.
racing games and
Yeah.
it's just something about it. I guess it takes practice, but I just can't. Do do they have like conferences like for gaming tablets? Like if you were playing games against people, you know how you do with console gaming?
Like they have
like tablet games. Like it was somebody's badass at tablet game going against this other badass person at tablet games. I don't know.
I don't see why they wouldn't, but you know, I haven't heard any like big,
shit.
big cons and stuff. Yada.
Yeah, me neither.
Maybe tournament.
Yeah, like a tournament or something like that.
As far as I know, I haven't heard anything, but I would like to see something.
Wouldn't it? It'd be
I'd like
they
to
have so many games.
I would
out
like
there.
to see someone play
A
like
huge
Temple
collective.
Run. You know,
Yeah.
and fucking be like, oh shit.
You have like 2 dual screens, like boom, boom. You got to do with his tablet.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is use your own tablet. Bring your own tablet, boom. So that's pretty cheap. You just have to have the monitors and all these things set up. You can set up a projector on a big ass wall and just have 2 people side by side, split screen it, and doing their little thing with the Temple Run and having them go up against one another. I don't know if you can do that on Temple Run, but
You probably
score
could.
wise, maybe if you start them at the same time.
Exactly. You start at the same time. Like it is all based on luck though, on getting certain things, but whatever. You know, see who can go the
I
furthest.
fucking hate that game.
I fucking love Temple Run. I
Dude,
I
hate
was
it because
so
I
addicted.
suck. That's why I hate it. I just hate it because I suck. I'm like,
It was so
God
easy.
dang, man. No.
Temple
no.
Run is easy.
See, I don't put that much time into it. That's why.
I barely put
I'm
it
like,
in.
this sucks.
I got fucking
And I
addicted
throw
to
it.
Temple Run for like the longest time.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, I couldn't put it down.
You're not like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was hooked on Temple Run.
Yeah, did you have like game thumbs? Yeah, pad thumbs?
I think I'd. Yeah.
I don't even know what those are called.
I don't know.
You just got the Kindle, though. You don't
Yeah, I
have
got
the
my Kindle
iPizzle.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my Kindle Fire.
No, iPad. What's up? It's all about the iPad.
Yeah, that costs too damn
Apple,
much.
Yeah.
And they fucking make a new one every year.
Right.
Then again, Kindle has done that too.
Well, dude,
but you don't need
until
your
I got my
updates.
Air, I had an iPad too.
I know.
Seriously, I waited I waited years. I'm like, okay, nope, and then I was like, okay, yeah, why not? And then I had my Wi-Fi. I did that thing where I stared at it for like months. I'm like, it's in my queue. And I talked about it like a fucking child. I was like, look at this tablet. You know how they just drop subtle hints and shit? You remember that? Just dropping subtle hints and then all of a sudden just like, do you want this? Like, yeah. Okay. And then she goes, well, I think it was like, what was it, Black Friday or something like that? We went out shopping and I stayed in the car. So I'm going into Target and getting it. It's like, all right, cool. My child. My thing is like, what do you think about that though? So am I saying that I want more death in movies for children?
Kill all characters.
I'm thinking, okay, this is not okay, and I'm not saying I want more death. I just want you to stay true to the story.
Yeah.
And if you have it, don't come to the end and have this conclusion and then think, oh, well, for the kids, we have to go back and correct this.
Hold that for a second.
All right, go ahead.
I want you to know that there's these Italian animated films based on Titanic. Like, I don't know if they think it's a fairy tale because of the James Cameron thing, but there's talking animals and shit. And in one of them, the ship doesn't sink.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, did these
The fucking
just
octopus
come out,
saved it.
or-
An octopus saved it. Oh. No, these came out in like 2000s.
That sounds like, didn't that happen in an old folklore story about this big old octopus that really, no.
You're thinking of the Kraken, I think?
Was it the Kraken? It could have been the Kraken.
Because the Kraken killed a lot.
Yeah.
Release.
So I thought this is this old ancient story about these boaters. I mean, these they're like, no, it's like a legion. I think it was like maybe some Greeks or something like that. They're going across the sea, and then the big ass thing comes like, or they were about to die, and then this big old octopus elephant thing comes up.
You're naming two completely different animals.
I just know that I had this visual in my mind. It was a story that I've read.
I'm thinking of an octopus with like elephant trunks for arms.
It wasn't. I was just, elephant. It was just a meaning that it was humongous. Okay, but I have a vision.
You could just say giant octopus.
I could say that, but it's funnier if you say elephant puss.
Elephant. Oh, that's just gross sounding. That just not sound
Now I
good.
was just picturing a big ass elephant looking at his lips and
Oh God, stop it, Jerry. This podcast is brought to you by Elephant Puss. Flapping in the wind.
But okay, I have this visual in my mind of this octopus. It was an illustration I saw when I was maybe a child. I'm not sure, but I saw this thing, and it's like underwater. Okay, so no, it wasn't saving anybody. I think it was about to attack. Actually, because I see the boat riding on top of the water, and then deep underneath, you see this big ass octopus looking up or about to go and get it. But wasn't there a story like that though?
Probably.
It has to be a Greek legend. It was something with the big old octopus and taking down this ship.
I just can't think of anything with octopuses.
Man, damn.
I'll do some
looking later, but I'm pretty sure.
Just look up Kraken. You know, Kraken it'll probably give it to you with Kraken.
Maybe, huh?
Yeah, release the Kraken.
What was the Kraken again?
Kraken was like a giant squid.
Was it just a squid?
Yeah.
Was it an octopus?
No, it was a giant squid.
Who would win in a fight?
Giant
Godzilla? Or, has he fought the Kraken?
Actually, there is a kaiju who is a giant squid.
Oh.
It was fucking lame.
It was lame. Oh.
It was very lame looking. It had like fucking googly eyes. Duh.
Oh, really? They had to work with what they had. They had to work with what they had at the time, sir.
Actually, I think that wasn't a Toho monster. That was a Gamera monster, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So, it looked worse because Gamera monsters always looked lame.
No.
Except for Gamera, because Gamera was the friends of the children.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Gamera!
Okay, I'm jumping back all over the place. But if you ever get the chance to watch that first, if you guys ever get the chance to watch that first scene of Grimm, that first episode, I recommend the first episode. They have it on Netflix. If you have,
is it on Netflix?
No, you have to have the extended Netflix. You have to have the disc.
Okay.
They have the disc on Netflix.
Gotcha.
I know that sucks. If you can find a friend or catch it on when they go through the run on TBS or something like that, and they start all over again.
Which they do with all their shows.
You know, the syndicated stuff. So catch that. But in the beginning, they had this girl was like, you know, it's all about Red Riding Hood, right? Mm-hmm. And so in the beginning, they had this scene. And what gets me was like they were playing Eurythmics, right? Sweet Dreams Are Made of Thee. Yeah. Of these, right?
Sweet Dreams.
Just Sweet Dreams. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was singing, of course. They had this song playing, you know, and she was listening to it and stuff. And then they had it as a staple throughout, you know, the show. It appeared, you know, people were humming it throughout the show and stuff. And then at the end, what they drop, man? Because it's like, oh, well, she's about to break loose, and this is Grimm. They had fucking Marilyn Manson's Sweet Dreams. It was like a evolution. Oh my goodness. Because before it was like all sweet, she was going out for a run and stuff like that. And then at the end, they had like, you know, they had that Marilyn Manson shit. Oh my goodness. It was freaking dope. Because I love me some Marilyn Manson. I love that song. So do you have any favorites like Grimm stories?
Grimm stories? Whenever I think of Grimm fairy tales, I recall a book from my childhood. Ooh. It's Roald Dahl's fucking, I can't remember the exact title of it, but it's pretty much Twisted Fairy Tales, and it was his retellings of them. And they were
I might have that
fucking gross, but I loved them. Like, my favorite one was The Three Little Pigs with the Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
Because they decided to call, the third pig decided to call Red Riding Hood because she had killed a wolf. And they called her, and she kills the wolf, but then she kills the pig and makes him into a handbag.
Let's fuck up. That ain't right, man.
You know, it was funny, though.
Yeah, that was funny. I would say, first of all, I like that juniper tree. That's why I wanted to mention it in this episode. I read like a lot of them, and some of the contemporary, the same thing. But like this one I was reading, I guess it was kind of grim, but it's just about this guy. Oh, fuck the name of it. I'll think of the name later. But it's this guy, this is servant, and he gets a Doolittle type ability that, you know, because this all-knowing king has this ability to just basically, he knows everything. He's very informed. Yeah. But yeah, it's because, you know, he's this serpent and he gets the powers to speak to animals, right? And so this one is just about this guy getting his comeuppance for the most part, where he keeps, he pays it forward where he does and this is a good damn story. It's like a Grimm story because, okay, now he eats the serpent because this servant boy who serves the king, the serpent, this very powerful spell written or knowledgeable serpent meal, whatever, because he gets an insight from it. He's able to speak to animals and so he goes and knocks himself in his room and then he eats it. Right, eats a piece of it. That's all he needed, and is a piece. And so then, therefore, he's able to talk to animals and stuff. And so then, he says, "Okay, I want the woman's hand, the daughter's hand in marriage or something like that, because she was looking for a suitor." And he said, "I will be that suitor." And the thing is, you can be the suitor, but you'll die, if you don't. No, that was afterwards. Whatever. He went on a trek.
Spoilers.
Oh no, wait, yeah. He went on a trek. Something about a duck and a ring. Okay, no. Okay, he ate okay, sorry. Let me. All right. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself.
Did the duck eat the ring?
Okay, yes, he did. Eventually he did. Okay, let me tell you this, sir. Okay, here it is. All right. Well, then the servant eats a piece of the serpent, right? And so with that, he gets the abilities to talk to animals. And so he's like, okay, I'm cool. So he goes out on a walk.
No, right.
Let's just say he goes on a walk. He meets up with what the hell did he meet up with?
A duck.
He meets up with, oh, yeah, pretty much. He meets up with a duck, but along the way, he finds ants.
Yeah.
And the ants are like, dude, don't tread on me, basically. They're like, I hate people because people suck and they keep stepping on our bodies. And so, what does he do? He veers off paths. And the ants are like, hey, I'll hook you up later. Pay it forward. And so, and he also meets, ravens, like 3 ravens who were tossed out of the nest because the parents like, okay, I can't feed you anymore. You guys are like just moochers. And so he tosses them out of the nest, and so they land, and they're like, we can't fly. We can't feed ourselves. Come on. And they're like yelling at the parents. And so what does the guy do? He gets a horse. He has a horse, and so he kills his horse, and because he got it from the king, from finding the ring that was in the duck, because he could hear the duck speak. The queen's ring, he heard the duck speak and say, I got something in my belly and it's holding me down. I found it on the queen's windowsill. And so he put 2 and 2 together. He took the duck. Oh, damn, went backtrack. He took the duck. He took the duck to the shelf. The shelf chopped the head off the duck, found the ring. So he was rewarded a horse. So
I would have rather had the duck dinner.
Yeah, a horse and time well served or some shit. I don't fucking know. And so he goes off, and so he helps those animals or whatnot. And he also helps some fish who kind of like were trapped in a little fishy net type thing, right? He helps some fish. He lets them go. Okay, so then all about he's trying to win this woman's hands, who was just like the queen's daughter. Was like, oh, you want to be my suitor? So he has to do these feats or finish these feats. And so she makes it very difficult for him because she's a bitch. So she's like, oh, well, you have to do this task. And he's like, oh yeah. The one task is like, here, chase this ring. They threw a ring into the ocean, right? And so they're like, okay, you have to go dive in there and get that ring. And so what does he do? He's like, okay, fuck it. Because if he doesn't find the ring or anything like that, he dies. You know, because if you say you're a suitor, so if you don't finish any of these tasks, you die in the end. That's basically what the king's rules were. And so he jumps down. He's like, oh, swimming around. Like, oh, I can't find this type of thing. And so who helps him? The fish. The fish come around like, oh, here's the ring. And so he finds the ring. And the lady's like, damn it. Well, here's this other task. Well, they have grains of hay, right? Like 10 bags of hay, 10 bags of grain. And so she takes the grain and just like, all of these must be equal by the morning. There were 10 of them, 10 bags. She empties them out like a bitch. She's a hoe. I hate her. But, and so she goes, you have to make sure everyone is equally distributed, weighs equally. Mm-hmm. Fill them all up by the end of the night. So he's like, oh, I can't do this. Who helps him? The ants. Right? They're like, oh shit, I could do this. And so he falls asleep actually. And the ants are like, I got you, bro. And so they hook him up. And so then she's like, okay, I really don't want to marry this guy. And so she says, hey, I want the golden apple from the tree of life. It's like, bitch, that don't even exist. She's like, find it anyway, motherfucker. And he was like, okay. And so he goes out. It's like, oh, no, woe is me. I can't find anything. And what does this dude fall asleep a lot? I think he fell asleep again. he's like, okay, I'm gonna die anyway, so I'm just gonna sleep. And so he wakes up and then like,
fucking Adam.
And the ravens come through like, got this. We heard that the king wanted you to go find this forbidden fruit from this tree of life. So we flew to the edge of the earth and we found this apple for you to take back to your queen, to your future queen. And so he takes it and they actually get married and they live a long life. So what's the moral of that story, Chris?
Be nice to all you meet.
Pretty much, yes. That is a moral. That's a story, right?
Yeah.
It has some stuff in it where, people died and, killed a duck, but that was the moral of the story. So
poor duck.
Read between the lines, people. That was a great story and told horribly by myself because I had to piece it all back together. But it was still a story and you should love it. And that's Talking with Burritos. That's Talking with Burritos. I'm Jerry, JJ Graham.
I'm Chris, the Rupel.
And that might look like a burrito, but it's just a wrap. All right.
So don't eat it.
To leave feedback, go to talkingwithburritos.com/feedback or send us a voice message at 520-775-1690. Follow us current on Twitter at Talking Burritos and check up with us on Facebook. This has been Talking with Burritos.
Burritos.